Hello, my fellow ETEC 590 students. I hope this video tour of my ePortfolio finds you well and not going overly crazy with the current corona pandemic. Before I start into my video, I would like to address how my ePortfolio is organized and how it relates to my purpose and audience. My ePortfolio is organized to ensure the least amount of clicks possible, and to be honest, that it can be altered quickly. I have used blog posts for my reflections and a hierarchical category system in order to simplify my ePortfolio so that it can be altered after the course is over. Since my audience is potential employers who shortlist me, I do not see them clicking through a lot of information. My purpose is to give them examples of my work that I have done in the least amount of time possible. So, my ePortfolio needs to be extremely condensed and quickly navigated. I also like the dynamic nature in which navigation menus can be used in blog sites. Most of my menus are simple category searches, and any new content I want to add to them, I simply must categorize a new blog post. To me, this is a very efficient system that will enable me to continue adding content to my ePortfolio without committing too much time to it. So this is my ePortfolio site. I'm going to start off by talking about the first page for a little bit. And that is about my goals. So my goals have always been professional in nature. I wanted to improve my ability to use technology in the classroom and get a degree that would progress my career. I am also working full-time and have a family, so the MET program was the perfect fit. My initial ideals of the program were a bit silly when I look back at it. I should have known university courses are more structured around teaching the student how to teach himself. But when I landed in a few of the more theoretical courses, I was having a lot of troubles returning to academia. And this caused me to choose my metaphor, which is a very simplified stages of grief. I chose to start off at shock because, to be honest, a few of the courses left me in shock. I was struggling with the academic nature of the readings and the types of assessment being thrown at me. To be honest, I've never been a very good writer, and academic essays have never been my preferred medium to express my learning. But I was quickly brought into bargaining phase with myself, where I started reflecting on how theory can be used to improve my instruction, and it was mostly the limitations I imposed on myself that were holding me back. Yes, my initial beliefs of being told how to use Canvas were not happening, but I was being exposed to how the content behind the course needs to be applied in a manner that is conducive to online learning. This realization then leads into acceptance and beyond. I had been exposed to many technologies passively through other students in the course, social constructivism at work. These technologies led me to explore how they can be used in my own teaching and the artifacts I created as a result of the MET courses that allowed multimedia submissions will be things I will always be proud of. Now, to be honest, I will never be a heavy reader of academic articles, but as a result of the MET program, I know where to find research and how to apply it to my instruction, and how to understand it on a level I did not before. Okay, so continuing on. If you notice my website here, I've got a very simplified menu system, but I've made it in a way that you do not actually have to use the menu. So when we go down here, here's my resume, and click next, and it'll tell you what the next page is. I chose to talk about my private life a bit because I find that my main hobby here has made me a much better teacher, and it gives you a bit of an edge to potential employers. So my hobby is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I've acquired a black belt in it, which is something very few people have done. And who knows, maybe the recruitment officer is actually someone who trains, and it'll give me a slight head up. So here's some pictures of my journey, and here. Okay, so we can go back or we can go next. So we're going to go next. Here is the courses that I have done so far. So I'm not going to really go too much into them, but I did want to highlight ETEC 540. This is a course that basically brought me from shock to acceptance in the span of 3 months. These are the rest of the courses I've taken. I've only taken 7 courses so far, so I still have 2 more to go. So I'll just highlight down here. The beauty of these courses were they allowed me to recognize when I was part of a good course and showed me what poor instructional design looks like. In an online environment, I think it is extremely important that courses are designed in a way that makes them flow. So the modules go from one to another, the readings are easily accessible, and the instructor is checking in via the learning management system, not just by discussion posts, but actual marks. And a few of the courses were extremely excellent in this respect. Okay, so let's go on to bargaining. And you will notice that this is a category archive. It is not a static page. This is a dynamically created page based on categories. All of mine are embedded, so they're all here, and that's why I'm saying this site is structured around show, not tell. To explain how these are organized, I basically put artifacts that display my IT skills but do not necessarily have application in student learning in Goal 1. Since almost all of my artifacts are voiceover PowerPoints, they do show the ability with PowerPoint and some editing ability. Goal 2, I chose those artifacts that are directly related to student learning, and unfortunately, I think there's only 2. And then Goal 3 is kind of all of my artifacts because each of them was submitted for marks and hence assisted me in acquiring my MET degree. So I will go through this very quickly because they are the same artifacts. They're just in a different order. So again, everything's embedded, everything's one click away. Okay, so here's goal 2. And that's my flipped lesson example and behavioralism in the classroom. And then goal 3, which is all of my artifacts. And again, some scrolling, some lovely scrolling, and I do apologize for that. I will be likely reducing a lot of the text soon after the course is finished. Okay, so my future directions. So this is what I have learned in my MET journey. So as I still have 2 more courses left in the MET program, my immediate concern is completing them. So I'll be taking ETEC 530 in the summer and hopefully ETEC 565A in the winter. I will also be continuing work on my YouTube channel that I created as a result of a lot of my learning. And these house my original content for my students, like my homework, which I use for as flipped lessons. And I would like to highlight this one. I would also like to delve more into creating e-learning lessons. It's honestly been an amazing journey. It's shown me a lot of myself as a learner and improved me as a teacher, just to become more open-minded. The MED program has gotten me past that, and I'm almost done it, so it must be going well so far. So that is all. Thank you for listening.